Hi everyone, my name is Paula. Welcome again. Today I'm going to do a yoga class. It's going to be for beginners to intermediate. Today I'm going to be focusing on doing crow pose, Bakasana. We're going to start by doing some breathing exercises and sound healing or meditation. So you can start with me in a easy seated pose in Sukhasana. You're gonna sit straight, have your shoulders back, feel comfortable. You can also have your legs extended or crossed, whatever feels comfortable for you today. We're gonna inhale as deeply as we can from our nose and slowly exhale, preferably from our nose, but if you want to from your mouth, it's totally okay. We're going to begin with a big inhale. Slowly exhale. Inhale once again. Slowly exhale. Inhale once again. Exhale. Inhale as deeply as you can. Exhale, emptying out all your lungs. Inhale once again. Slowly exhale. Inhale once again. And slowly exhale. Inhale as deeply as you can. And slowly exhale, emptying out all your lungs. Let's take one more big inhale. Slowly exhale. You're gonna take one more big inhale. You're gonna slowly hold it at the top of your head. Exhale and bring your breath towards your heart center. One more time, we're gonna inhale as deeply as you can, bringing your exhale all the way to the top, and slowly bringing it back to your heart center. For the last time, we're gonna take one more big inhale, and slowly you're gonna exhale, emptying out all your lungs. You're gonna hold your empty lungs for a few seconds, and then we're gonna come back to your regular breathing. Okay, we're gonna start today's practice in an easy seated position in Bakasana. So you can find yourself in the center of your mat, or you can also use a towel or whatever you have available at your home. You're gonna bring your hands to your heart center and take a big inhale. Bring your arms all the way up to the sky or to the roof, and slowly exhale. We're gonna bring our hands towards one side. So I'm going towards my right side first and bringing my elbow all the way down to the mat and opening here my arms, looking over my elbow or my shoulder. Slowly we're gonna inhale. We're gonna come back to the center, and you're gonna now go towards the opposite side doing the same motion. Bringing your elbow down to the mat, opening your arms, and looking over your arm or your shoulder. Slowly come back to the center. You can bring your arms up to the sky again. We're gonna take one more big inhale and bring your hands all the way forward in front of your body. Bring your head down all the way down to the floor if it's accessible for you today. You're gonna round your back here for a few seconds. And slowly you're gonna inhale, bring yourself all the way back towards the top. I'm gonna switch myself towards this side so you guys can see a little bit better. We're gonna extend our legs in front of our body into Dandasana, staff pose. You're gonna bring your hands right next to your sit bones and press your hands down onto the mat. Extend your shoulders and your arms. Basically, you're making an L shape with your body. We're gonna take a big inhale, bring our arms up to the sky, and slowly exhale, slide our hands down onto the mat, and see if we can grab our feet. If not, just slide as much as possible that your body's going to allow you today, and just stay here, feeling the stretch as much as possible. We're gonna stay here for 3 breaths. We're gonna have 2 more breaths. We're gonna try to go more deeper into the pose if it's possible, feeling the stretch into our hamstrings and our arms. We'll have 1 more breath, and then slowly you're going to lift up and come back into Dandasana. So right now we're doing Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold. We're gonna now bring our legs closer to our body. Basically, our ankles are right next to our thighs, and we're going to, we're basically sitting onto the mat, and our ankles are right next to our body, so we're not sitting on top of our ankles. So we're encountering ourselves in hero pose or Virasana. You're gonna bring your chest up, keep your back neutral or straight. We're gonna stay here for a few breaths, just feeling the pose and the opening in our ankles as well. We have 1 more breath. Slowly, we're going to lift up and bring our sit bones off the mat. Very slowly, we're going to do camel pose or ustrasana. If you are not familiar with this pose, you can use some assistance to help you as an extension of your body or some props. We're gonna place it, if you have blocks, you can place it on the highest setting or adjust it to whichever level that you feel you are at the moment. You are gonna place it either on the outer side of your ankles or the inner side. Place your hands behind your sit bones, open your chest, and slowly shift yourself, your belly forward and your shoulders back. See if you can slowly grab onto the blocks behind you. That way you can open up more your chest and shoulders. If you need to adjust, totally go for it. That way you can go deeper into that extension and do the full pose, if that makes sense. So we're going to bring our hands behind our sit bones, open our chest, bring our shoulders back. We're gonna bring our head down, we're gonna let it hang. We're gonna try not to force our neck to try to keep it up because that's gonna cause us a lot of injuries if we put a lot of force onto the wrong parts of our body. So basically, this is a Ustrasana camel pose with props. You're more than welcome to try and do it without the blocks if you feel that you're ready to take it to the next level. So to lift up from here, you can just bring one hand to your behind your sit bone and then the other one, inhale and slowly lift up. And you can go back down into Virasana if it feels comfortable for you. Or you can always come to Malasana, child's pose, by bringing your knees towards the outer side of the mat and walk your hands slowly in front of your body. You can stay here as long as you want to, so you can rest and recover. We're gonna now do Ustrasana for the last time. You can do it with props if you want to, or if you want, you can also join me and do it without props. We're going to lift up. Bring your hands behind your sit bones. Bring your shoulders back. And slowly, you're going to push your body forward, like your belly, and you're gonna bring your shoulders back. You're gonna take a big inhale. And slowly, see if you can grab your ankles one at a time. You're gonna stay here for 3 to 5 breaths. You're going to feel the back bend and opening of your chest at the same time in this pose. It's very important to not forget to breathe since you're like upside down and you need a lot of oxygen for your head at this moment. We're gonna have 2 more breaths here. With each breath, try to see if you can bring more consciousness into your body. See if you can open up more. See how you're feeling. Now we're at the last breath. We're gonna bring our hands behind our sit bones and slowly lift up. We're gonna sit down, back down into the mat. Bring our hands back down here. And sometimes it's totally normal if you feel a little bit lightheaded from doing inversions, because if your head is upside down, that's basically an inversion. So You gotta be patient with yourself, and if you feel like you need to take some rest, totally go for it. So we're gonna come to a child's pose, and after this, we're going to do some salutations, and we're going to start doing our Bakasanas. Rock your hands right in front of your body. Try to bring your hip bones or sit bones as close as possible to your feet or to the mat. We're going to stay here for a few breaths. We have one more breath. Walk your hands closer to your body. Okay, now we're going to lift up. So we're going to stand up right now from our knees. We're going to do a lunge. So we're going to bring our feet right next to or right in front of our body or in front of the mat. We're going to tuck our toes in our back leg and we're going to lift up. So feel free to drink water or take a little rest. So we're going to start doing some sun salutations so we can warm up our body before we start doing the crow poses. So we're gonna start doing sun salutation A. We're gonna do it one time today. We're gonna start at the front of the mat, bringing our hands to our heart center. Take a big inhale. Bring your hands up to the sky into Malasana. Exhale, bring your hands down. Extend your legs as much as possible. Bring your head down and fall into Uttanasana, standing forward fold. Inhale, bring your hands on top of your knees or to the chin of your legs. Extend your arms and back. Look forward to Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, bring your hands down. Bring your feet back. Bend your elbows. With the exhale, fall into Chaturanga Dandasana or lower plank. Inhale, come to Urdhva Mukha Savasana, lifting up your hips off the mat. Extend your shoulders, extend your arms and keep your shoulders back. Slowly exhale, lift up your knees off the mat. Extend your legs as much as possible, as long as your arms. And imagine you're making a triangle with your body. We're gonna find ourselves here into downward dog. We're gonna stay here for 5 big breaths. You can pedal your feet from side to side so that way you can extend your legs and bring your feet closer to the mat. It kind of helps to stretch out those back muscles of your leg. Make sure your hands are shoulder width apart. We're gonna look at our legs or stomach if that's possible for us today. We're gonna have 2 more breaths. So we're gonna stay here, feeling our body and being conscious of our breath. We have 1 more breath. Slowly walk your feet towards the front of the mat. Inhale, bring your hands to the chin of your legs on top of your knees and come to Ardha Uttanasana, half forward fold. Slowly exhale, come to standing forward fold or Uttanasana. Slowly inhale, bring your hands all the way up to the sky into mountain pose. And exhale to Samastiti. Okay, good job. So now we're going to do sun salutation B. You're more than welcome to take a break if you want to drink water or you need to take a little rest. We're gonna start at the front of the mat. Bring your hands to your heart center. We're gonna make sure our feet are as closer as possible to each other. Inhale, you're going to bend your knees and bring your arms up to the sky, extending them into Utkatasana, chair pose. Gonna now exhale, come to Uttanasana, standing forward fold. Inhale, come to half forward fold. Making sure your back is extended, you're looking forward. Exhale, bring your hands down, bring your legs back. Come to Chaturanga Dandasana or lower plank. Inhale, come to Uddha Mukha Savasana, upward facing dog, lifting your shoulders off the mat and your hips as well. And now you can just stay in Bhujangasana, doing Cobra. Slowly exhale, come to downward facing dog, lifting your hips off the mat. Here in Adho Mukha Savasana. We're gonna now inhale, lift up our right foot or right leg and bring it towards the front of the mat. Making sure our back foot is diagonal to our body. We're gonna bend our front knee. Inhale and come to Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. Our hips are going to be square towards the front. We're gonna also see that our feet are going to be a little bit separated from each other. They're not going to be aligned in this position. Circle your hands back down onto the mat. Bring your legs back, or leg. Exhale, come to Chaturanga Dandasana, lower plank. Inhale, come to Uddha Mukha Savasana, or Bhujangasana. Exhale, tuck your toes, come to Adho Mukha Savasana. You're gonna bring your left leg up to the sky and bring it all the way forward, right next to your hand. Make sure your back foot is diagonal to your body. Bend your front knee. Inhale, come to Virabhadrasana 1. We're gonna make sure we're keeping our hips square towards the front and our feet are not aligned completely. They're a little bit separated from each other. Bend your knee as much as possible. Circle your arms back down. Bring your leg back. Come back down to Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale to Uddha Mukha Savasana. Exhale to Adho Mukha Savasana. And we're gonna stay here for 5 big breaths. If you feel like you need to take a rest, you're more than welcome to come to Child's Pose, Malasana. We have 3 more breaths. We're gonna feel the extensions of our body with each breath and being conscious of our thoughts and breathing at this moment. We have 1 more breath. Walk your feet towards the front of the mat. Inhale, bring the hands to the chin of your legs or on top of your knees. Come to Ardha Uttanasana, half forward fold. Exhale, come to Uttanasana, standing forward fold. Making sure your feet are next to each other or as possible as they can be today. We're going to bend our knees and come to Utkatasana with an inhale. Bring our arms up to the sky. Exhale, come to Samastiti. And that was sun salutation before today. So we're going to come now towards the center of our mat. We're going to practice doing Malasana. which is an essential pose for crow pose. We're going to make sure our feet are almost like a real squat. So you might have to adjust. It depends on how wide your hips are, or everybody's different. Ideally, it's going to be a little bit shoulder width apart, or a little bit wider than a regular squat. You can slowly try putting some blocks here and making your way down and trying to sit on them. So we're gonna take a big inhale and slowly exhale as we descend back down. You might have to adjust if it feels like it's a little bit too high for you with the blocks, and you want to work your way to go a little bit lower. You can take this off. And this is basically Malasana yogi squat with props, with the blocks. You can also take all the props and just have all the weight of your body on your own, and see how you feel with the opening of the hips. You can place your triceps on the outer side of or on the inner side of your legs. You're gonna press them basically out, and that's gonna help a little bit to open up more your hips. Something that really helps while you're doing yogi squat, bringing your hands all the way down onto the mat if you want to practice getting into Bakasana, crow pose. Bring your hands into your heart center, into prayer. I'm going to switch myself towards this side so that way you guys can see. Standing with our feet shoulder width apart, or a little bit more apart from each other. Inhale. Slowly, we're gonna exhale, come all the way down. You're gonna keep your hands in heart center, or you can bring them back down onto the floor. You're gonna feel the opening here on the sides of your hips. The important thing is that we are here getting used to the position. So for Sukhasana, for Bakasana, we're going to be having our body crouched a lot, and this position helps us to transition to that one. So it's good to do the precursors of the poses to help you a lot to master or be able to learn other ones. We're gonna now do the next step for Sukhasana. So for this one, I'm going to switch myself once again. We're going to use blocks. I really recommend having something that you feel more comfortable having to support you if you are very new to trying these poses on your own. When I started doing this on my own, I also had a little pillow because I don't think I had blocks yet. So try to use what works for you, so you can use multiple pillows. And it's just something that can help you feel more comfortable doing the pose, if that makes sense. Sometimes it's like a placebo effect. We're gonna now start going back into our yogi squat or Malasana. Bringing your hands to your heart center. Let's take a big inhale. And slowly exhale. You're gonna bend your knees. You're going to now, this is the next step. We're gonna try to hug our knees with our armpits. So this sounds a little bit weird. It might take a little bit of time to understand this part, but it's totally fine. And you might get it like right away. So it all depends and the way someone explains it too. So we're going to hug over with our armpits. We're gonna go over and wrap around our knees. Like basically try to just go over like this. I know it sounds very confusing, but just try to see if the hollow part of your armpit, you can like fill it in with your knee. So this is basically step 2. Step 3 is going to be a little bit more advanced as well. Or hands, something that helps for me is having like an L shape. That way I can see a good measure of how far I can have my hands. So the blocks, if you have one at home, normally they're like around the same width that you need to have your hands on. So place the blocks a little bit in front of you. There's going to be a lot of adjusting needed, so it's okay if you have to like bring yourself back up and adjust things, because this takes a lot of practice to learn it, and you want to like do it not rushed. You want to be able to learn it, on your own way, if that makes sense. Like that way you feel comfortable and you don't want to feel like you're gonna fall. So we're going to place the blocks a little bit in front of us. Our hands are going to be almost elbow width apart. Place the palms of your hands all the way down, as long as with your fingers spread down onto the mat. This is where it gets a little bit tricky now. Once again, we're gonna tippy toe ourselves. So we're going to lift up our legs. So this is why it's very important that we do a lot of yogi squats, because we want to be able to lift up and go back down to do this pose or transition. So lifting up and going back down. We're going to keep our hands all the way down, press onto the mat, and we're going to slowly try to bring our weight onto our armpits. And that way our knees are going to be placed on top of our triceps, if that makes sense. So when we bend our forearms, is going to be like a little platform for us to bring ourselves into the crow pose and balance our body. So this is where patience really is worth, because the more you practice and the more you're patient with yourself, you're gonna be able to do this, with no injuries or accidents. But also you gotta be patient, because strength comes little by little. So also you might feel a little bit of pain in your wrist after doing this. So the step 4, I don't know which step we're right now. So we have the palms of our hands down to the mat, and we're lifting ourselves, our butt up and a little bit forward. We're bending our elbows and keeping our forearms and our arms on a 90-degree angle almost. If that makes sense. It might not look like it, but we're gonna adjust, because right now I got a little bit disadjusted. So here you're gonna try to see your knees almost pressing into your triceps, and you can lift up 1 foot at a time and see how you feel. Your wrist might need a little bit of time getting adjusted to the motion, but it's okay. You can also try doing wrist movements. From every time that you do a crow, you can take a little bit of rest and see if you can try it again a little bit after. Okay, so we're gonna go to step 5. We're gonna do the full crow. Bring your hands to our heart center. We're gonna take a big inhale. We're gonna exhale. Bring our hands down to the mat. We're gonna position our knees inside our armpits or hug our knees with our armpits. We're gonna lift up our butt or sit bones and shift our body or weight forward. You're gonna lift up one foot at a time and then the other one. You're gonna inhale and slowly exhale. You're gonna try to keep your gaze forward, and if you need to come back down, just try to bring yourself back very slowly, the same way you got up. So try to not force yourself to try to do more time or more breaths, because normally most of the time it's like your body just telling you, okay, this is enough time for me. I have to go back. So try to listen to your body, and it's very important to like also breathe and not forget about it, because you might get really excited about doing this pose that you really wanted to do, but the breathing is very important, and be very aware of how your body's feeling. We're gonna do it one more time, and then we're going to do the last transition that we're going to do is going to be from crow to low plank. So from Bakasana to Chaturanga Dandasana. We're gonna now from yogi squat, bringing our hands to our heart center, taking a big inhale, bring your hands down onto the mat. You're gonna hug your armpits. You're gonna hug your knees with your armpits. Press your hands all the way down onto the mat. Lift your butt up to the sky. Shift yourself forward. And slowly lift up one leg and then the other. Try to see if you can point your toes. Inhale and exhale. And slowly come back down. And bring your hands to your heart center. We're gonna do it now for the last time with this extra transition that is a little bit more intermediate to advanced. And you're more than welcome to join me to try it if you would like. We're gonna start a little bit toward the front of the mat. We're gonna bring ourselves into a yogi squat. So we're gonna start in a mountain pose or samastiti. We're gonna bring our feet shoulder width apart. Feet is going to be slightly pointing towards the outer sides. You're gonna take a big inhale and slowly exhale. Bring yourself all the way back down into a yogi squat, Malasana. Bringing your hands to your heart center. You're gonna place your hands all the way back down onto the mat. You're gonna adjust your knees and armpits, trying to hug them around with each other. Once you're adjusted, you're going to slowly shift yourself all the way forward and see if you can lift up 1 foot at a time. We're gonna stay here for a few breaths. And then bring your legs all the way back with a big exhale. So I know that transition looks very intense and it's very fast too. So it's basically taking all the strength from your body and just pushing your legs out into Dandasana, which is low plank, and then bringing yourself down and all the way up to Ula Mukha Savasana or Cobra. So now we're going to come back into a Tiota position. We're going to cross our legs behind our body, and we're going to end today's class by extending our legs in front of our body once again and lowering ourselves or back all the way down into the mat. If you want to join me in Sukhasana, you're more than welcome to. I mentioned that we were gonna do Sukhasana, so I confused it with Shavasana. So sorry about that. So if you want to join me in Sukhasana, you're more welcome to do that. Slowly, we're gonna push ourselves back into easy seated pose if you wanna do this with me. You can keep your eyes open or closed, whatever feels more comfortable for you today. We're gonna take a big inhale. I'm gonna breathe at your own pace. I'm gonna take one more big inhale. Hold it at the top of your lungs. And slowly exhale. Let's take one more big inhale. Slowly exhale. Okay, if you guys have your eyes closed, you can slowly open them up right now. If you're in Shavasana, you can slowly start moving your hands and your feet or your legs. We're gonna switch or shift ourselves to our right side and push ourselves into a easy seated pose. We're gonna end today's class with one more breath together just to say thank you for everything that we have for today. We're gonna bring our hands to our heart center. We're gonna finish today with a thought in our heads. We're gonna be very grateful and have a lot of gratitude for all the stuff that is going on in our lives. And also, you're gonna make a goal of something that you wanna do. Whatever it is, just know that that goal that you have in your head, you're gonna be able to make it possible. So, we're gonna take one more breath. We're gonna inhale as deeply as you can. Slowly exhale. And you can join me if you want in saying namaste. Thank you so much again. I really appreciate for you guys being here and seeing my classes. Thank you so much. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And I really appreciate you for being here. I hope your day is full of blessings and the rest of your week as well. And I will see you guys in the next class. I really appreciate your support. Thank you.